When you already run native advertising campaigns on, for example, platforms like Taboola or Outbrain, you will see when you click into the site section that you will have a lot of cheap iOS and Android traffic from, for example, app games or smartphone games. And usually this kind of traffic is not converting. So you just will receive a lot of clicks, but nobody will buy your product or take action for the next step. In this video, we will take exactly about the push traffic and how you can avoid it, and what's push traffic in general, and why you should also try to avoid it. Hi everyone, my name is Marcel Sattler. I'm the founder of Purple Black, a native advertising only agency. So what we're doing on a daily basis is we run native advertising campaigns on big major traffic platforms like Taboola, Outbrain, Yahoo Gemini, and many more. And when I talk with people who are new in the native ads game, they might, for example, sign up for a free account on outbrain.com or taboola.com, and then they started their first campaigns. So they take a look into YouTube videos and searching for how to set up a new campaign there, and it might be looking okay. So for example, the bid is okay, the budget is okay, and the funnel is also okay. Maybe not the best, but maybe everything is okay. And then they start their first campaigns. They spend $100, $200, $300, zero conversions. And they're wondering, hey, what's happening? Why did I not receive any conversions here? And then when they dig deep into it, when they analyze the data here, they will see, okay, I receive a lot of push traffic. So receive a lot of traffic from iOS games, from Android games. And also I have very high CTRs there, but almost zero conversions there. And then they might wondering, how can I avoid those kind of push traffic? But before we dig into it, let me explain what push traffic is. So the regular funnel of a native ad, how I practice it here also on YouTube, is people are reading, for example, the USA Today, and they're scrolling down at the bottom of the page. And then they are searching for a new topic because they have time, they want to continue reading, and they're searching for a new topic here. And for example, let's say you sell knee sleeves against knee pain. So if someone has knee pain, they see it and think, okay, that sounds interesting. I have knee pain, so let's check what doctors recommend here. They click into it, and then they're coming to your advertorial where they see exactly how your product is working, why they should use it, and the little parts of FOMO and all the other stuff. And then they want to take action, they want to purchase the product. So that's the regular funnel, how it should work. And on the other hand side, we have push traffic. And push traffic is someone plays a video game, a free game for his or her smartphone. And free games, they need money, of course. They're not completely free. So they're monetized their traffic with ads, and also, of course, ads from Taboola and Outbrain. And that's push traffic. So maybe when you're using games in your smartphone, you already saw it, that to continue the game, you have to watch a video or you have to click here that you're able to continue this game. And that's exactly push traffic. So that's one kind of push traffic. Of course, there are multiple parts of push traffic, but that's also one part of push traffic. And people have to click on it until they can continue the game, but they're not really interested in your knee sleeves because they might be 19 years old and they don't have any interest in your product. So they're clicking on it, but of course they will not buy anything because they're just clicking on it, or they just are on your offer page because they have to continue the game. So as mentioned before, there are different parts of push traffic, but that's one significant part of push traffic. And of course, you would avoid the second one. You won't avoid exactly this push traffic because those kind of, for example, smartphone players, they don't never ever purchase anything from you. Of course, when you have a lot of traffic, sooner or later there will be one or two conversions, but in general, that's not a real good way to build your business on. So in general, there are three different ways to avoid those kind of push traffic. The first way is you do it manually, and that's a method which I don't recommend you, because when you do it manually, and there's a lot of push traffic out there, you have to select every section manually and exclude them. And that means you need a lot of time, and until your campaign starts to receiving traction, you need a lot of time and money. So don't try to do it manually, because when you exclude 100 sites with push traffic, in the next 2 minutes, there will be 200 new sites with push traffic, which you have to exclude manually, and so on and so forth. So it's a lot of manual work. and you're usually not spending high amounts there. So for example, you're spending $1, $2 there, but of course your ad or your campaign never will have a very good traction. You never see one good placement where you spend 100 or $200 because you will receive conversions, but instead of that, you have 200 small sites where you spend $70, 70 cents, 80 cents, or something like that, and you have to exclude them all manually. So it's a lot of work, and at the end of the day, you will not have a good traction for your campaign. The second method is use a third-party software. For example, a third-party software can use virtual whitelists or blacklists. And what they do is they do exclude the part which I mentioned in the method 1, but they do it automatically. For example, when they see, okay, that's a too high CTR for a regular site. And one software which you can use for that is, for example, the Optimizer Native. But of course, you have to know a little bit more technically because you have to set it up manually. So you have to understand already how native ads are working. It's not a super simple setup, but of course, it's also not rocket science. But you have to dig deep into the technical understanding of how virtual whitelists and blacklists are working. And method 3 is to ask your account rep on Taboola or Outbrain to activate a block list or, for example, a whitelist. And there is already the issue, because this method, the third method here to ask your account rep, is of course the highly recommended method, and we are using it also at Purple Black. But the negative side here is when you sign up for a free account, for a self-service account on Taboola or Outbrain, when you just go to outbrain.com or taboola.com and sign up there, then you have an account in self-service. So that means you don't have an account rep there. So you're completely alone. You don't have anyone who takes care about you. Maybe you have a support chat, but they're not able to add a whitelist or blacklist to your account. So that means when you start there an ad, you will receive a lot of push traffic. But when you have an account rep, they can use a block list, for example, or a whitelist. So a block list in general, for example, Taboola have some block lists where they can exclude all or almost all of those push traffic ads or app traffic sites here. So that's possible when you have a block list, for example, or you can also use on Outbrain whitelists. For example, there is a performance whitelist where are just picked, manually picked, or more or less manually picked publishers where Outbrain knows they have a good performance. So that's possible, but you need an account rep for that. And when you're wondering, how can I get an account rep? Unfortunately, when you just have 1K or 2K monthly budget for native ads, you're not able to get an account rep. But when you're able to spend, for example, 10K per month, you're able to have an account rep and they will support you. Why it's not possible with just 1 or 2K? Because they don't have endless resources, and of course they just want to support people who really want to use the platform in a good way. And that's one of the reasons why I don't recommend you to start with native ads when you just have a very tight budget. So when you just have 1K, 2K, 3K per month, then native advertising is definitely not the right way to go with. Then it's better to invest your money into TikTok, YouTube, Facebook ads, or whatever, but not native. You need more money to start with native ads because it's, in the very beginning, one of the most expensive traffic sources out there, but on the scale, it's also the most, or one of the most cheapest traffic platforms out there. So that's very important to understand. In the very beginning, one of the most expensive traffic sources, but on the long run, it's one of the cheapest because you have a lot of scaling potential and some very, very cheap CPAs, CPMs, CPCs. But in a nutshell, with an account rep, you can use block lists, whitelists, and avoid those shitty kind of traffic. I hope you liked that video. If so, I would extremely appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, and of course, when you subscribe to my channel to receive more updates about native advertising here on YouTube. Have a good one. See you next time.